Our hybrid Sienna minivan has been a tremendously useful vehicle for our camping during the last 3 years. And the design for sleeping and comfortable camping inside of the van has been evolving over the last 3 years. We're getting ready for our next trip this year. And I thought I'll share with you some of new design features we've implemented in our sleeping platform and rear quarters, what I call utility area. Let's have a look. So first of all, what's new about design is that I replaced parallel bars, which were in design 3.0, with lighter and more supportive plywood panels. The plywood panels are attached to the aluminum extrusion framework in order to take full advantage of accessing small but useful area under the bed. It was important to find a way to load and unload and have access to that particular area. So with that in mind, I have two options for putting things underneath the platform. Let's look at option number one. I could lift by one hand whole platform, and a carabiner suspended on the handle for the rear seat passengers now holds the platform upright. So as you could see, there is a space for small items, and in previous designs we've shown that some of the long-term storage and spare parts and spare gear and supply could be stored there. So that could be laid out, and then simply, for example, now I will be packing for our next trip, I will be using this configuration. However, because the bedding typically is in place when we're camping already, we don't want it to fall backwards. Now we're on the other side. I'm lifting it only partially. The bed still stays in place. Another carabiner connected here to the headrest poles makes it possible for it to be in place, and access to that area is available. And how did I accomplish this? I've done this by introducing a pivot here, which I will show you in a moment. So first of all, you see fewer cross elements on the sleeping platform, and part of the support is now provided by these sliding seat mounts for the second row seats. And the pivot is a standard part, as you could see here, attached with the single bolt. It's very stable in order to use this space, as well as provide some support here, so only our legs, lower legs are here. Therefore, it's not critical if it's not absolutely perfectly supported. Our mattress and typically extra towels and extra soft things fill in this place very easily. And in a moment, we'll start talking about our rear utility area, I call it. Let's see what's there. One of the most important considerations for any vehicle, particularly luxury vehicles, I cannot believe that people pay $100,000 plus for luxury vehicles, would it be sedans, minivans, or unless it's a camper van, essentially you cannot accomplish what's possible in this hybrid Sienna minivan. The most important dimension for comfortable travel for any vehicle is the following: its ability to step securely inside of the vehicle, wherever that is, and be able to stand, though bend like this, and still being able to undress in order to sit down and relieve yourself when the nature calls. So there are two configurations in this vehicle, what we found, that work. One configuration when the toilet is placed here, so this way you have to step over the toilet in order to turn around. You typically have plenty of space facing forward, though there is even luggage here. There's space here. It's never higher than this level. So as a result, you could do the same, obviously with closed door. And then configuration where you have space across the van, like in this configuration. We've tried it placing toilet here, as you may remember, in one of our designs. So the rig was here. The trouble with this is that the rear gate is not exactly square, so you bump your head into the glass and you simply cannot comfortably undress here. So that's why having the height of the vehicle sufficient enough. See, I could comfortably sit here. In fact, sometimes I use it as a chair and put my computer here to do some kind of quick email or something else. It's more comfortable than to do it in the front. Needless to say, it's quite comfortable at night where the bed is here. You simply slide from the bed on the seat here without needing to drag yourself to the public restroom at the campsite in the middle of the night in the rain. And when traveling for multiple hours, sometimes you miss that rest stop, and then the next one is 40-50 miles away, and you have to wait, or you have to go and find some forest. Any intersection, any place we can pull out of highway becomes a place where comfortably close this door. You cannot see inside during the day. It's absolutely perfect. So I cannot be happy with this setup because it works, and it works exceptionally well. Our rig with the refrigerator stays the same for ease of loading and unloading, and particularly in order to keep this door fully open. So this way we could access our refrigerator, easily see what's inside, repack it, close, and then it goes back securely in place. Many people ask about this hybrid system together with auxiliary battery. Why do we need auxiliary battery? This auxiliary battery is critical because when we're camping, we're going for a hike, we're sleeping, the van is not on. Unless van is on, there's no power delivery. So this van has 110 volt inverter. This inverter works only when the engine is on. That means that periodically car will be turning on gas engine, creating start-stop in the middle of the night. At campsites, it's not really a nice thing to do. And in many campsites, it's prohibited because neighbors will hear that on and off, whole night on of the engine. This battery allows to drive this refrigerator for 3 days. We went camping for 3 days. 72 hours later, we came, there was still 10% of battery left. In the hot weather, 2.5 days, this refrigerator could be supported by this. Battery is charged when we're on the road. During 5 hours of driving, the power outlet, which is connected here, which essentially charges the auxiliary battery, and about 5 hours of driving is sufficient to fully charge the battery. So if we're even leaving home without battery charged, 5 hours later, typically that's how long we drive to our next destination, the battery will be full, and that would be sufficient overnight for all the uses. We have boiling water several times. So in the morning, we're driving again. The battery is recharged, and it works very well. Occasionally, we have to charge it at the campsite. We use it extensively for our tea and water in our electrical kettle, which consumes 1200 watts of energy each time for a few minutes. In order to recharge it, we simply turn on our van during the day, and it quietly purrs every 15-20 minutes to charge the hybrid battery, and then hybrid battery provides energy to charge the Jackery. So works exceptionally well. We're very pleased with this. The mattresses. So underneath gear is packed, and this particular piece is cut to fit in the narrowest section of the van. The other sections are standard and installed sequentially. Here's our mattress in place. Now, next is bedding. This mattress is very comfortable, but to further increase the comfort of our sleeping, we're putting the mattress cover. When you're sleeping next to the ocean, you may as well enjoy the ultimate comfort of five-star hotel. Almost. With sheets, pillows, and comforter, the bed will be fully ready for us when we arrive at the campsite. Even when we arrive late, and particularly when we arrive late at night, it's going to be very quick to set up a tent or simply unload the tent, and some of our gear, which will be stored here on the top of the bed. We will cover the bed with the protective cover to keep it nice and clean, and we will be ready to sleep wherever and whenever we arrive at our destination. We like travel efficiently, and having a bed ready for sleeping at any time is absolutely critical in our opinion. This is a specially designed protective bed cover. It's waterproof, it's synthetic, it's washable. The reason we're using it because it stretches nicely over the bed and stays in place. It's relatively slippery material which allows loading and unloading of gear without dragging the bed. And when we, especially getting up in the morning and it's rainy and we need to pack, some of our gear may be wet, protecting the bed with waterproof cover is a must. So the protective cover covers all layers, the mattress, the bedding, and comforter. And now we're going to install gear on the top of the bed. There's quite a bit of space here, so we'll fit everything we need. First and probably most important piece of gear is our clam shelter. It's 6 feet long. And the beauty of this vehicle is it fits on the top of the bed. It could be relatively easily taken in and out. And I have to tell you, a few weeks ago, I went to an RV show and decided to look. Am I missing a point here? Is there something which could be done much better, much more efficiently in specially built RV vehicles? And we've looked at everything from cargo van based conversions, Sprinter, Ford, and the rest of them, and all the way to the buses, big buses. So why we're going camping? We're going camping to be outside, to enjoy the nature, to cook, to eat, to spend time playing on our computers or devices, but outside. And that's the reason clam shelter like this is the key. It has great visibility through its mesh. It has protective covers when needed against rain and wind. And it's a great living room in the nature. Meanwhile, we have a comfortable sleeping place and security of our own, as efficiently, as economically. And in terms of driving cabin, this van, incredibly comfortable, enjoyable place to be with acoustic windows. It's the place to enjoy, listen to audiobooks, comfortable sitting position. I sat on all of those expensive vehicles in their cockpit, and it's a truck. What else do you expect? No wonder that the prices for these vehicles went down dramatically. So all our gear is loaded now in the van. As you can see, it fits nicely, tightly. Nothing will shift, rattle. So this is ready to go. Tomorrow morning we will be ready to depart.